Hi, my name is Simone. I'm the Zen Mommy. I help people with spiritual awakening and ascension and guiding you through the healing of the mind, body, and soul. Hi, everybody. I know it's been a while since I've been on the camera. And I tried to do a video talking about it, but it's not coming together. So I'm just going to dive into a subject and we're going to get the video log story of what has happened and why I took so long and be all caught up on that. So we're going to dive into this subject. Um, the subject is 5D Earth. I want to talk about what is 5D Earth. I want to talk about um, should 5D Earth be your goal? Is that what we should strive for? Um, and I guess I'm gonna have to touch on what happens after you die, and what about heaven, and what about hell. So hopefully we can cover all these subjects in this video. And these are my thoughts from my experiences. And so let's get started. So number one, I have a diagram. So this is a diagram. In order to have this conversation about 5D Earth, we're gonna have to talk about dimensions. Okay, so I had this board before and it was really effective. Everybody liked it. So this is similar. Okay, so we're going to see every dot on this picture, right? Every dot on this picture is going to represent a creation. Okay, the middle dot is green and it has that's Earth. Okay, so in order to understand this the way I have come to understand it, I decided that this diagram will be very useful. Okay, so you want to look at my video, okay, for more information on the dimensions. I'm going to link a video up above. And it was when I talked about starseeds versus humans, okay? So now everybody is a creator. Every soul is an infinite being and a creator. So before we incarnate into this earth, we have had many creations. And infinite creations. Some of us created our own creations. Some of us uh, spent time in other people's creations or created stuff together, or it's just creations. So each of these, so we don't have a beginning and an end, right? So, but when we call something from home, what I'm going to be talking about in this diagram is home would be the creation that you were comfortable with as your go-to creation before this life here. So let's just say like you created this creation and you just kind of lived at it and that's your home. Okay, so everybody that came to, all the creators that came to Earth all came from different creations. I hope that this isn't too esoteric or anything. This is just how I see it. If you come to resonate with it, and then maybe, you know. Okay, so we're all here. I just wanted to get the backstory on that. So we're all here and we're all creators. And we lower our vibration. We don't have memory of anything. But we're living in this creation. And this creation has a time limit. It has a temporary life based on this creation. And when that temporary life over, the immortal soul still lives on. So what I'm talking about when I'm talking about 5D is I'm talking about what's going to happen at that point, okay? And you know, and what 5D is and how that works into this whole thing. Okay? So now with that being said, through the dawn of time, everybody wanted to know what happens after we die, what's next. A bunch of religions were created. Heaven and hell were the biggest two creations that scared the living daylights out of everyone. The way it's talked about. So this has been most of our beliefs. It was my belief. I was in religion. Um, I'll put that up when I need it. This has been most of our beliefs. Most of our beliefs is like you be good, you go to hell. I mean, you be bad, you go to hell, you be good to go to heaven. Now, when you have your spiritual awakening, wait, y'all can't even see my ponytail. Hold up. I'm sorry. So when you start going through a spiritual awakening, you started to see that you have awakened out of, you know, the matrix. You're starting to uncover, your amnesia is starting to go away. You're starting to remember who you are. So now we go through this ascension process, because as a spiritual being carnating just on this planet is lower energy, low vibration. So just to carnate here, you have to take yourself from your infinite source self, and you lower your vibration, you come here. So throughout our life, we develop these attachments, the ego, we develop the ego personality, and we we go through things, we have issues, we have stuff that we're holding on to. So during the ascension process is essentially taking you from that lower vibrational state you came into this planet with, and all of the garbage baggage you added to it. Ascension is taking off those things and going pure. You're journeying from ego to spirit. You're letting go of all of the attachments. Okay, so this is what the ascension process is. So you work on yourself. You know, you trust your spirit. You don't, if you don't give in. Like, there are times that we know that we don't have to give in if we didn't want to. Like something that we're angry about, we could let it go, but we don't. Something that we react a certain way, an ego reaction, we don't let it go. And then there's the things you've been through in life that you probably didn't deal with, and so they're in your subconscious. So you have a weight holding you down. So in your ascension, those things come forward in your life. That's why the ascension is so hard, because you actually have to reface that stuff you avoided when you were younger. And so as you ascend, you get to a pure consciousness state. Okay. Um, and I did a video on 3D. Did I do a video on 3D, 4D, and 5D? I'm going to do that video along with this one so that you guys can understand. Okay. No, actually, I'll just talk about it now. Okay. So 3D is the state of our three-dimensional physical body. Okay. I'm going to just do this really quickly. I'm going to go into detail in another video. 4D is after your awakening. You are now, actually I do have this video. It's the first video on my page when you come to it, my trailer. Um, so 4D is now you're opened up, you're awakened, you can hear your spirit guides, you're halfway like out of the physical realm and into some of the non-physical realm. So you hear spirit guides, you can talk to angels, whatever. Okay, you just have access to your psychic abilities, your intuition. You're no longer just living this 3D life. Um, you have your knowledge, your consciousness expanded. Okay, so 5D is when you begin to go into pure consciousness and completely abandon like the attachments and the angry emotions and the negative vibrations. Those are gone. And so when you get to that 5D state of consciousness, okay, and when you get into that 5D state of consciousness, you enter in 5D, okay. And so in 5D there's a 5D earth. And so the earth, I'm gonna be honest, I can't tell you how much about it. I don't know much. I'm learning, and a lot of this I learned on ayahuasca. And so you get to that higher state, and in 5D earth, you're now in, you're still in this. Okay, so let's go back here now. Okay, so when you get to 5D, okay, you go through that series of expanding. How long is this video? Okay, we're only at 9 minutes. We go through that series of expanding until you're full pure consciousness, and you're in 5D. At that point, you're still within this creation right here, but now you've reached 5D in this creation. You're in fifth dimensional. Now you're creator, you're full creator God again, but you're in it within this planet. You're still limited to just this planet. But you can instantly manifest. You can create. You can be. Okay, so when I took ayahuasca, there was a moment where I passed through 5D Earth, and I wasn't sure for sure it was, but my spirit guide, or the ayahuasca, sometimes I call the Aya, because the plant talks to you. So the I was like, this is what 5D Earth is like, but I only went there through us for a second. And but what I did see is I saw the whole Earth, but then I saw the illusion of the Earth, like how the intricate parts of how it's made. And so being that way, it seems more formidable. So that so in 5D Earth is something that like you would have, say you see this scenery right here in this backyard, right? So you would think for a moment, I want this to be mountains filled with snow, and instantly it's that. So it's not like stuck like we are here. So it's just another part of a creation that we've created to have this experience. And so now when you die, and I know this because of my experience on ayahuasca, I had a near-death experience, and I went out of body. Like I shot outside of my body, and I was gone. I can't, it's amazing. Just when I talk about it, it feels amazing. But in that experience, I realized then this is what happens when you die. When you detach from this body, your pure, amazing bliss, energy, your fullness, your wholeness, you're all that is, and all that is you. And so, at that point, it was the most. It was the most alive I ever felt. And this is what happens when you die. No matter what religious belief you held in this life here, when you die, you never die, okay? And so it was so amazing. I didn't want to go back. I all of a sudden knew this whole truth of this world. And I can't actually say everything. I can't remember, but I know I knew fullness, this whole, why I was here, what was I doing, and why did we do this. I knew all of that. But and I was like, you know what? I was thinking I'm not going to go back, but I thought about it for a second, and instantly I was back. And so what I was going to say, so that's what happens after death. So if you die without ascending the consciousness, right? You go to, out of body, which is, I believe, the place where I went, where you're I know, but it's up to you to decide what your belief system is. But it was so pure. It was such an amazing state. You understood all things. I understood like why I created Earth and why my life was like this. So it's really essentially like you're this creator. We have all these creations. Like life is really about fun and bliss. That's why little children are really closest to the God force. Is they don't think with too much ego. They don't have their intellect of all of the stuff that we learned in this lifetime, and the back build of data and the ego telling them they want to go have fun, they want to play, they just want to experience a life of pure bliss. That's what source is. That's what you are. Without this is just pure consciousness, pure bliss. And so you have that when you go out of body. So like no matter what happens to you, you don't need to be stressed out about getting to 5D. And so now I brought up that to 5D. Oh, and what I want to say about like religious, like, okay, let's just say Christianity, heaven, and hell. So since we're all creators, every creation is true. So within this creation, there's millions of creations. There's so many religions, and each of them have, whatever rules to the religion, and there's a collective energy that believes it, and if we're creators, all creations come true. So there is a heaven and a hell. Now I have this friend, she is a minister and has a PhD in theology, and she one time told me in the beginning of my awakening, she said a friend committed suicide, and she had this vision, or that he came to her saying he was in hell, and she described it, she saw it, and she saw that experience, and she knew that it was real. And she saw that and then found out later. This is before she knew he died. He committed suicide. But she didn't know. She found out in a dream, and the next day she found out he did. So it was so real that she's completely convinced that hell, a burning hell exists, that if you, are bad and go to hell or you commit suicide. She's convinced. And that kind of puzzled me. Like, why is she so convinced of that? Because her being convinced is trying to convince me. And so now I've figured out why she's convinced. But belief systems, we're all creators. Once you decide to hook into a belief, you are actually casting that into your reality. You're manifesting it. So when you say, I believe in hell that burns in fire, you have that belief system, that's going to be the experience you have. So when people say, my goal is heaven, my goal is hell, or whatever, they actually, when they die, they do experience that because they are a creator. But they also experience pure consciousness, and they understand they're not really, suffering in a hell, or they're not really, and like I said, I'm not trying to influence anybody. Like, if you feel like this is right for you, it's right for you, but I know it's right for me. And so, so 5D would be that state of consciousness, and in 5D you're able to have your human body, but you can change your body and do all this kind of stuff with. So it would be just a fun part of creation. It's a nice goal to have, and I'm going to be honest, the past few months, ever since, I don't know, a few months, that was like my goal. I want to be in 5D. That's what I want. And I was thinking that, right? And like, I went on this whole journey, and with hanging out with a group of people that are very into going to 5D. And I learned one thing, and I know this video is getting long. I learned one thing. Someone told me that my daughter wasn't going to 5D. And I thought, what? If I go to 5D, what's going to happen? And she'll see me as dying. And when I saw that, and when I thought about it, it confused me. Like, okay, we all, there's no right thing, but I truly believe I'm here to experience my feelings and experience me and myself. And I started to think about it like, I've been out of body. I know what happens after you go out of this creation, and it's amazing. Like 5D, I'm okay with not going to 5D. And I started to understand what I valued. I valued being a mother here. I valued having a family. I value my daughter and my son. And I feel like as a creator, what I experienced when I went on the other side, I saw that, see, this is the only time we really get to experience ourselves in this 3D form, that we can make connections with a part of us that has separated and has amnesia. We don't remember that we're one. So we're doing this. We're getting to think about the experience again. Yeah, we have hard times here, but isn't human connection amazing when you can connect to someone? Isn't it beautiful to hold your children? And I thought about that. And I was just like, you know what, that is really more important to me than 5D. Of course, I'm on this journey, okay? I'm headed for 5D consciousness regardless. But the thing is, to make it your goal and be dogmatic about it and miss this experience could be a grave mistake. So I believe that you could not focus and forget about it. Don't worry about the afterlife. I mean, that's what the present moment is for. This is an experience. You're gonna, if there was like really regret, you would regret not experiencing this life to the fullest, that you're here. Because this is a hard experience, a challenging experience, but if you've come this far, why not find the things that make you happy and that you value in life and embrace that to the fullest? And that's what I'm just starting to see that in my own truth, when it comes to following people and following groups, is this is my experience. I don't need to follow anybody, And yes, it's good to associate and learn from people and make those connections, but when it comes down to you feeling like your way should be about you, not what I tell you, not what someone else tell you. It should be about what is right to you. So I know I'm going long here. I'm going to end it in a second. You have to learn. You can't let people confuse you. Like if I say one thing and it contradicts something that you believe your higher self told you, go with your higher self is what I'm saying. And that was the confusion I've been in for the past few months, is I needed to figure out, like, I felt fine before I started hanging out with other spiritual people, YouTubers and stuff. But now I know that I am what's important in this life. And making this person happy, finding out who this person is one of the reasons I came here for. And so thank you for watching, guys. I appreciate you. I apologize for the delay. And namaste. Bye.